Thank you, Sags. Good evening, everybody. Yeah, already this weekend, 4 sides from divisions below their opponents, some 5 divisions below, have caused shocks, taken scalps and ridden headlines. The back pages this morning adorned with Crawley and Chorley. Look for one last splash. Can Stockport County of the National League, 86 rungs lower down the ladder than Premier League West Ham, make it a 5-star FA Cup weekend? They will be helped by the surroundings. You could fit 2 Edgeley Parks into the London Stadium. This quaint, spruced up stadium is compact and tight, but it's supremely well presented. It sits behind a reservoir at the end of a leafy street of Victorian red brick houses. They might be helped by the brother of a former winner today and a manager who just happens to be a hammer. And it's a ground which has cup upsets in its past. Say 1996 League Cup replay and West Ham United in these parts, and they can tell you exactly where they were the day Ian Dowie headed into his own net. Do you know where you were, Alvin Martin?
I wasn't playing, and I wasn't guilty of that. But I do remember the header, which does get mentioned a lot when we have reunions.
All the ingredients are there tonight. There's driving rain which has lashed the playing surface here. It's all day today in South Manchester. Away to our right there's a 2-tiered Cheadle end which will house up to about 4,500 when at full capacity. The only stand that doesn't have a roof is the railway end away to our left hand side, where there's a big jumbotron which is not in use today, and it's one of those old grounds where the roof is kept up by a few posts that are littering the sort of halfway line. We've got one right in front of us here, but it's the only one that's obscuring our view. On the far side there's a few others that are holding up an elderly roof. The 2 teams are out in front of us. I'll go through the 2 11s for you just a second. Mike Dean is our official here tonight. There is no VAR, but we've got Premier League experience on the touchline in Darren Cann and Darren Robotham, and Kevin Friend is our 4th official tonight. The 2 teams are standing abreast of the halfway line, with Stockport in their home colours of all blue shirts and blue shorts with white socks. They'll be attacking the railway end away to our left-hand side, which is the goal that Darren Randolph is defending, and West Ham United, all in black with gold trim, will attack the Cheadle end away to our right hand side. The players have been standing waiting for the television floor manager to give them the okay that they can start proceedings here for a minute or so now, and they're trying to keep warm, aren't they, Alvin, because it's pretty chilly out there with the wind and the rain.
Yeah, if you're lucky you can see there's a few gestures from West Ham players, come on, let's get at it, and they're taking the knee now, and certainly, that's going to be a big part of tonight, attitude.
Yep, 22 players on the field, and the officials from both clubs taking the knee to support the fight against racism and social injustice. And then Mike Dean blows his whistle, and we are underway in the final commentary of this FA Cup weekend. It's the last of the 3rd round, but it's only the beginning of our FA Cup journey on TalkSport. When tonight is over, we will know who plays Doncaster Rovers in the 4th round of the FA Cup. I'm delighted to say Alvin Martin is alongside me. He started the final the last time West Ham United won the FA Cup. How do the Hammers ensure they are not the last big victim of the weekend, Alvin?
Well, it's about doing what they've done here coming into this game. They've lost only 2 games to Chelsea and Manchester United in the last 10. So, it's taking that form into this and taking the attitude into this as well. I'll tell you what, it's a good start to the game. The keeper has really walloped one down their right, down West Ham's left, and Bonner had a 40-50 yard foot race, and you don't need that in the first minute. You call that getting your second wind. I tell you, he's puffing and panting at the moment. You want to play yourself into the game as a centre-half. No, not start off like that is for sure.
Stockport County in blue shirts attacking the goal to our left. They come down the right hand side. Sam Minahan tries to get the ball into a crossing position. He runs into the bulky figure of Ben Johnson, attempts to clear. Connor Jennings comes across and tucks the ball away and out of play for a throw into West Ham deep inside their own territory. Ben Hinchcliffe is the Stockport goalkeeper, 6'1", full-time lorry driver. Sam Minahan is the right back. Liam Hogan the captain, centre half, wearing 29. Jordan Keane and Mark Kitchen make up the back 4. and then it's Lois Maynard, Crowsdow in midfield, Jennings, Rooney and Williams behind Reid in attack. West Ham have Randolph in goal, Soufal, Dawson, Ogbonna and Johnson the back four, Declan Rice and Mark Noble in midfield, Yarmolenko, Benrahma and Lanzini behind Antonio, who's back in the team and in attack. And Benrahma is playing in that number 10 position as we thought he might, although I'm sure he will move around with Lanzini, who's now just drifted into that sort of zone as the ball's picked up by Yarmolenko on this right side into Noble with the captain's armband strapped to his long sleeve black jersey into the centre circle where it's collected by Declan Rice, whose hair has been flattened by the rain, across to Dawson, who's done quite well actually since coming into the West Ham United team. They kept a couple of clean sheets in both of his Premier League appearances. Up to Noble, just left of the centre circle, hooking the ball down the left for Yarmolenko to chase. He's moved towards the corner flag, looks to try and get the better of the defender, then tries to square it into the centre, doesn't quite come off, and it comes out to the edge of the box where Rice then sends it down the right touchline but can't find Soufal, and it's out and away for a goal kick out to our right hand side.
Yeah, Soufal has apologised to Declan Rice there. He's just on the edge of the box and he's showing Declan where he wants the ball played, in behind the man that's marking him, and as he played it, he put his head down, he pulled back out again, and it made Declan look a bit of a fool really, but so he just apologised to him. But Soufal has certainly come into the club and played with a lot of energy, and I think he's somebody that first and foremost, Sam, he wants to defend. That's what I like to see a defender that wants to defend first and foremost and then wants to play secondly.
Yeah, and he certainly has done that. He's added a little bit of steel down that right hand side. They couldn't really solve that problem in the right full back position, could they, prior to his arrival? They tried Fredericks there a few times. Obviously Zabaletta's career came to an end towards the end of last season. Soufal bought in at a bargain price from Slavia Prague, and he settled straight in. And I always go back to that first interview where someone said to me, "Are you nervous about making your Premier League debut?" He just said, "No, I've played in the Champions League, pal." Ball played down the right hand side into Reid, nudges it back to Jennings. Jennings tries to link up with Reid. A slide tackle goes in on the far side by Noble, and in the greasy conditions he slips the ball out of play for a throw in midway inside the West Ham United half. Minahan will take it on the far side. Stockport 0, West Ham United 0 on Talk Sport as we reach the conclusion of the third round, but we've got so much to look forward to in this competition, especially if you're a fan of Chorley, who take on Wolves at their ground in the next round of this competition. And before, possibly, if they overcome Wolves, they could play Arsenal eventually down the line. Benrahma, little flick outside of his own penalty area towards the left of Lanzini, who travels up towards the halfway line, right by the tight chalk line of the touchline on the far side. An intervention from Hogan nudges the ball out of play, and it's away for a throw-in on the halfway line. 5 minutes gone, Stockport 0, West Ham 0.
Well, obviously dominating possession as we expected them to, West Ham. Haven't really done anything with it up to this point. Stockport look like they're going to play obviously long when they can, but they're looking like they want to play down that right-hand channel of theirs, yeah. And West Ham's left, and nothing really has come down the left-hand side for them.
Well, Mikel Antonio, will be interesting to see how he plays tonight, get some minutes into his legs. He's played 44 minutes since his latest injury. He's at the top of the formation for West Ham United. He's so often their one and only goal threat, and of course they're going to need to rely on him a bit more now with no Sebastian Haller. Here is Rice bounding forward into the Stockport half, down the right, into a little bit of a muddy patch on this near side to Soufal, back in centrally towards Noble, clipped over the top, down the right, Soufal trying to get to the byline, low cross in towards the near post, hooked up into the air by Hogan, and it's out on this near side. Won by West Ham United once again. Rice goes towards the corner flag, produces a really good deep cross. Benrahma takes it on his thigh, brings it down inside the area, looking for an outlet, gets a shot away towards the far corner, and it almost licks the post with a rasping shot from the Algerian from just inside the box. A right footer after good control from a Declan Rice swashbuckling run and then cross.
Well, certainly down this right-hand side, I think Declan Rice and Soufal have got a really good understanding. I know that they had a misunderstanding a few moments ago, but more often than not, they're on the same wavelength, and both of them did really well again. The ball was switched from left to right, and Declan ended up getting on this right-hand side and playing as a winger, didn't he? But he took the ball out. It was a fantastic ball in, because he had to really dig it out from underneath him, and it went to Benrahma on the far post. And to be fair, he's a real tricky customer in that sort of situation. On the edge of the box, he just feinted to go left, come onto his right and got the shot away. The keeper just watched it. If it had been a foot inside that post, he'd have got nowhere near it.
7 minutes played, 0-0 on TalkSport with Sam Matterface and Alvin Martin. It was a good move by West Ham, but here comes Alex Reid for Stockport County, handing the ball off to Rooney, who's on the edge of the D, always dangerous from range, plays it wide towards the left. The cross comes in from Jordan Williams. It's blocked by Soufal and shuffled out towards the near side, and West Ham United repel that Stockport County attack. It is West Ham's first outing since New Year's Day, so the squad are pretty well rested. Since then they've seen departures of Sebastian Haller and Rob Snodgrass, but they were determined to come here and play a strong team. And as I mentioned earlier, most Premier League teams have played relatively strong teams, mainly because the young players that they have in their academy are outside the COVID bubble. Here is Craig Dawson moving forward with the ball for West Ham, up towards the centre circle, across to Noble before he reaches that centre circle, and then dropping deep to pick the ball up is Lanzini into Antonio. Benrahma momentarily has gone out towards the left hand side. Now it's on to Rice, who's gone out there as well, joined by Ben Johnson, the fullback, who moves up towards the angle of the Stockport penalty area. We've got everybody apart from Rooney and Reid behind the ball, and it breaks down quickly, falls to Rooney, can't get it forward to Reid, and goes backwards to Hogan instead. 0-0.
Well, it's a good tempo by West Ham. You know, they are a team that have come here, and certainly the attitude has been good from the get-go. But they've got something about them, Stockport, haven't they? They're solid at the back. They're not giving. They're making West Ham work for every inch that they've been able to find, and they also look like they can play as well. The centre halves are passing the ball out from the back, and certainly a team not to be taken for granted.
Stockport are going well in the National League this year. Jim Gannon's side currently fourth, but have 3 games in hand over the leaders Torquay. Don't tell Jim Proudfoot. They did suffer a bit of a setback versus Altrincham 8 days ago, when they ended up drawing with Altrincham 2-2 after being 2-0 up with 20 minutes to go. But they've only suffered 2 defeats in 10. It's a very similar record to that of West Ham United. There's some big teams in that National League as well, isn't there, Alvin? Yeah. Torquay, Notts County, Hartlepool, Barnet, Macclesfield, all teams that have graced the league in recent years.
Competitive, certainly competitive. And they do come back, you know, if they go a goal down, they've got character, obviously.
Lanzini out to the right, Rice on to Soufal, back into Rice again. He's in the dead centre of the Stockport half. A little touch towards the left hand side to Rice once again. Now on to Benrahma, who moves towards the edge of the penalty area. A little shuffle back to Johnson. Johnson finds Noble. Noble tries to just edge between 2 defenders, goes into the box now, taking on Minahan. A little deflection off him, goes out, Mike Dean says, for a goal kick, although West Ham wanted a corner. They're not getting that, and it's away in front of the Cheadle end, where there are lots of supporters' flags that have been left behind the goal that Ben Hinchcliffe is defending. Hasn't had too much to do in the opening 9 minutes or so. Alvin Martin.
No, that's right. I think they'll be pleased with certainly the start of the game. Stockport, they've looked solid, trying to get the ball forward whenever they can, but it's been limited of opportunity for them up to this point. West Ham still searching and trying to force the issue a little bit. I think this man on the ball is the one that needs to get in and around the box. Benrahma, he's somebody that looked really lively.
Here is Antonio down the right, played in by Rice into the penalty area. A low cross blocked at the near post by Hogan, and it's out and away for a corner kick, the first of the game so far for West Ham United. Liam Hogan, who was formerly of Gateshead, Tranmere, Macclesfield and Fleetwood, just stepping in and pushing the ball behind and away for our first corner of the game. And West Ham have been pretty good at sort of creating opportunities from set pieces this season. It's something that David Moyes, Stuart Pearce and Alan Irvine have been working on.
Yeah, I think he's somebody that, you know, is so detailed in that, and you know, I like that. That's what I wanted as a player. I wanted a manager to not give anyone an excuse.
Ball's poor one in low and towards the edge of the penalty area, but it's cleared away. Noble's delivery wasn't great, comes back towards Yarmolenko, but before he can get there, Minahan sends it out on this near touchline, the way for a throw in front of one of the dugouts. The two dugouts have been renovated. It's part of a £1 million renovation here at Edgeley Park. The last few years have seen them upgrade some of the facilities. There's a new facade on the back of the Cheadle end with Stockport AFC in new neon lights, which burns brightly when it's dark outside, which it is tonight. Very dark. Here's Soufal moving up towards the edge of the area, dances past Lois Maynard out towards the far side, tried to play it back to Rice, who was dispossessed momentarily, but once again West Ham have recovered the ball just in front of the centre circle inside the Stockport half. Rain still driving down here at Edgeley Park as Lanzini moves towards the right angle of the Stockport penalty area, hands it off to Yarmolenko, who tries a strike which was dipping towards the far corner, but it was about a foot wide of the upright and goes behind and away for a goal kick.
Yeah, but he hits it really well, didn't he, with his left foot, Yarmolenko. He likes to come in on his left foot, and that one was going the wrong way for him. He needed to really hit it with the inside of his boot and get it curving back in towards the goal. It didn't, it went the other way. But it's certainly somebody who's capable of scoring from that range.
Craig Dawson is just getting some treatment after a bang, I think it's his face. He's behind the post for me, the rusty old girder which is keeping up the roof, Alvin, so you'll have to tell people what's going on there.
Yeah, they look a little bit concerned about him. I didn't see anything in terms of a challenge that went into him, but he is important, I think he's the one I like to see with one of the other two, Ogbonna or Diop. Diop, I think, has got a slight knock today, so he's not involved. But he's the calming influence. He's the communicator in the back line. I think he's crucial to the team. I think you'll end up seeing him play a lot more games under David Moyes.
Yeah, I think we worked with Piercy with the Olympic group many years ago. He's only played a handful of appearances for West Ham, but he left his mark with 2 clean sheets in the Everton and the Saints game. I think he left his mark on Shea Adams as well.
Well, I like him because he keeps the game simple, and again, he's a proper defender. He can play on the ball, but he gets it right, the same as Soufal does. I think sometimes centre-halves these days, because the game is played out from the back, they want to look like a midfielder in that sort of position. But look, defend first and foremost, and anything you get on the ball in terms of composure, that's a bonus.
Declan Rice has just dropped it back into the back 4 to try and stiffen things up whilst Craig Dawson is waiting to come back on. Rice has just called him back on now, and the ball has gone down the right for Minahan to chase, but it's a little bit over-elevated by Jordan Keane, and it goes out of play and away for a throw in the left full-back position. We played 14 minutes. You're listening to Talk Sport, and we're live at Edgeley Park in South Manchester, Stockport, which is, I think, technically Cheshire, but it's so close to South Manchester, it's basically touching distance. And you were talking, Stags was talking about getting the train from London to Manchester. I stopped through here quite often. The good news is that on platform 4 of Stockport Station there's a Starbucks. There's not many of those. You can nip off, get a Starbucks.
Oh no.
Driving
on the way on.
You're driving now though, aren't we? We haven't been on trains for ages. I'm sure that time will come again soon. Here is Yarmolenko back infield towards Noble, down the right hand side to Antonio trying to shrug off the attentions of Hogan, and gets stuck in the mud there and plays the ball against Hogan, who brings it out of defence. Across very quickly comes Yarmolenko, misses his tackle. Antonio comes back, nudges him off the ball. Jim Gannon, who's on the touchline screaming for a free kick, doesn't get one. It rolls all the way through into the West Ham half, and then it's picked up by Dawson and played across the back 4, and West Ham have possession again.
He's just got to get Lanzini into the game more. We haven't really seen enough of him. He's given a free role really just to play off Antonio, and sometimes it's a temptation when you get a bit frustrated to want to come that little bit deeper. You've got to stay up there, you've got to hold your positions and wait for the ball to go into Antonio and know that he can bring you into the game.
It's not a usual thing for Stockport County to play at this stage. It is their first appearance in the 3rd round in 14 years. They beat Yeovil after extra time, Rochdale and Chesterfield to be here. They are determined to make the most of it, and there are the fireworks to prove it. That's timing for you. Ball is down the right hand side. I didn't organise that, by the way. Ball is down the right hand side with Sam Minahan, who gets into a right wing position, tries to produce a cross. It doesn't go into the penalty area. It gets cleared from the left full-back position and out over on the far side. They are fireworks, by the way, just in case you were panicking. I know that one or two of our members of the press did have a little bit of a panic up then, but the fireworks are definitely going off behind the goal.
Certainly the first one made me jump.
Here is Rice, just in front of the 18-yard box. Plays it square on this. They must be very, very close. There's a reservoir and a park just behind the railway end, away to our left-hand side. And that is where this impromptu display is taking place from. I told you they were going to make the most of it. They're having a party back there. I heard they're social distancing. Here's Yarmolenko, back to Sue Fowl. It's 0-0 between Stockport and West Ham on Talk Sport. We're used to fake effects, aren't we now? We've enhanced what's going on in our broadcast, but there's nothing fake about the explosive fireworks that are going off as the soundtrack tonight.
One of them's just come into the ground, actually. How much have they invested in that? They're quite expensive, aren't they?
Yeah, you can spend quite a few thousands of pounds.
Referee stopped the game.
Referee Mike Dean has stopped the game as a result of the noise that is going off behind it. It's very, very loud. I'm sure you can hear that. We haven't got any effects mics on here because there's no need for it to have any effects mics on. There's no one in the ground, but you can hear the decibel meter going up inside the small little ground on the edge of Stockport in the borough of Edgeley. And I can see, just peering over an advertising board, I can just see some sparkles and flecks of flames coming out of a firework behind the goal away to our left, and then the whole sky lights up with an explosion, a white explosion, and I think now maybe they've blown themselves out.
I said before the game there was going to be fireworks tonight.
Yeah, you did, yeah. You didn't expect it to be exactly like that, but and I think that I'm not entirely sure it was in the literal sense. But there's one or two members of the press away to our right-hand side who stood up and gave them a cheer for that impromptu display. I must admit, I didn't get to see many fireworks on the 5th of November, so it was nice to be treated to a bit of a display. It's 0-0. We're back underway. Mike Dean has restarted the game. Would that affect some of the players? Could you imagine if that happened if someone took a shot? The goalkeeper might have had an odd reaction.
It's weird, really, because you couldn't communicate. I mean, a big part of the game is communicating, giving information to each other. But when you've got a crowd in here, it doesn't matter how loud it is, you seem to be able to hear each other.
Yeah.
But fireworks, that would have been impossible.
Well, they obviously have done their money because they've stopped now.
Yeah, somebody's been pleased with themselves.
Ball headed away by Dawson up over the halfway line. Noble picks it up and tries to edge it forward. It's cut out by Maynard and played square towards the near touchline. Jordan Williams is further down the touchline. It's taken on by Kitchen. Kitchen finds Williams down by the byline, looks to take on Soufal, stands in his way. It's put behind by a retreating Yarmolenko, and it's out for the first corner of the game for Stockport County.
Well, up to the fireworks, I think West Ham were in total control of the game, and I don't know if it's just the pause in play, but it's the first time they've been in a semi-dangerous area, isn't it, Stockport?
Yeah, and I suppose maybe that sort of brief delay after 16 minutes just sort of maybe just cooled West Ham down, and then they might not be able to start the motor as quickly again. We'll see what happens from this corner kick. They need to defend this well. Alex Reid is right inside the 6-yard box. Rooney's just at the front post. Hogan has joined the attack and is on the penalty spot from the centre half position. Goes into the area. Oh, it's fisted away by the defender, and Randolph didn't get a clean punch on that, and it comes back to Hogan and he can't turn it home. Well, there was a real opportunity there for Stockport, because on the slippy surface of the ball, the glove from Randolph was not certain, and it slid off the outside of it and almost went straight to Liam Hogan. Yeah,
I think, as a goalkeeper, you just pray that you're lucky, and he was lucky, because as he's come to punch it, he didn't get any contact on it, and it bounced really behind him. But there were two West Ham players there who were able to get him out of trouble. But, how many times have I played in games like this, where you're in total control of the game, you haven't really created a lot, but you feel comfortable, and then all of a sudden
sets up a firework.
One moment is all it takes, isn't it, to change the course of the game.
Yeah. I thought you were going to tell us about how many times someone had set up a firework. I mean, I know we've often talked about sometimes Premier League teams going to lower league grounds need a firework lit underneath them, but not in the literal sense. 21 minutes gone. You're listening to Talk Sport, and it's Stockport County 0, West Ham United 0. West Ham have had 65% of the ball up until that stoppage. It was even a little bit more than that, but that was a chance for Stockport, and they'll just believe that maybe the conditions might help them tonight create something if there's another fumble, as there was from Darren Randolph on that occasion, who played here before for Bury when he was on loan from Charlton. They won 2-1 and had to face the throw-in of Dave Challoner and the aerial prowess of Effie Sodji back in 2000, and I think it was 2006 it was, when he came here with Bury. But he was certainly under pressure there, and he didn't make great contact. Here is Noble for West Ham, the captain, trying to loop the ball down the right, cut out by Kitchen, sent back infield to the captain Hogan, and then he exchanges passes in midfield with Croasdale, and then it goes back into the centre, and Maynard leaves it for Croasdale, and it goes out to the right, and Minahan picks it off the central defender Jordan Keane, and then he looks to play it down the touchline. Minahan has made himself some space, approaches halfway, good neat interchange to Jennings. Jennings now trying to turn back in the team today. Connor Jennings playing on that right hand side, trying to funnel the ball forward down the right channel, looking to play in Alex Reid, but Ogbonna was wise to it and tied it up for West Ham, 0-0.
Well, even there, Stockport got the ball on the edge of the box. They're playing it around West Ham, and they eventually moved it down the right-hand channel and ended up on the edge of West Ham's penalty area by passing the ball. You don't expect maybe sometimes, a non-league side to be capable of playing that sort of football, but they are.
Well, Stockport have been in the National League now for over a decade. I do remember coming here about 20 years ago with Pompey when they were in the Championship. They had Shefki Kuchi's goals at the time to power them. As the ball goes down the right-hand side towards Antonio, goalkeeper came out very quickly, I thought, Ben Hinchcliffe, and gobbled the ball up on the greasy surface. He made his starting position perfect, and he was very quick to come out and meet the feet of Antonio.
Well, it was a perfect ball from Yarmolenko. He just dinked it in, and if the keeper doesn't read that situation and come out and have that start position that you mentioned there, then I think we'd have seen the first goal. That's how important it was.
Good save by Hinchcliffe. Ball is played out towards the right hand side. Do you remember Shefki Kuchi playing for Stockport County?
Oh, yeah, I do. Yeah.
Finnish international.
Yeah.
Went on and played for Ipswich. It was either before or after that he played for Ipswich Town. Used to do that diving celebration on his belly into the corner flags. Aaron Wilbraham played here. Mike Flynn, not the Newport boss, he made his name here. The one from Oldham and Preston. But they tumbled down as far as the National League North before promotion in 2019. Had to contend with a bit of administration in 2009 as well, but they certainly feel as if they're on the way back up now, and they've started well in this game against West Ham United from the Premier League. 23.5 minutes gone, and it's still 0-0 between Stockport and the National League, 86 places below West Ham, who are in the Premier League. Down the left, Ben Johnson for the Hammers tries to move towards the edge of the area. The rain continuing to come down here. It's slick and greasy and a little bit slippy underfoot, and there's a bit of pressure from Ogbonna on Alex Reid, which Mike Dean didn't quite like, and a free kick has been given to Stockport just in front of the halfway line. 0-0.
He done well there, Reid, because it wasn't a great ball up to him, but he was able to control it and then draw the foul from Ogbonna. He hasn't really had a lot of the ball, but he looks like he's got a half a yard of pace about him, Reid.
This is TalkSport live at Edgeley Park. Here is a ball towards Reid, which almost cannoned off Declan Rice as Ogbonna tried to clear in front of Alex Reid. Scored versus Altrincham recently. He's actually having the best spell of his whole career. He had a spell in Sweden after being released from the Villa Academy, but he's well scored. He's only 25 years of age, and he's got 7 in his last 14, so he's definitely a threat, Alvin.
Yeah, well, I think, we mentioned it before the game, you just don't want to defend, 100% and just give the game to West Ham. I think they've got to get the balance right between defending and offering an attacking threat, and I think the balance has been perfect from Jim Gannon's point of view. So far. West Ham have the ball inside the Stockport final third. They cleared it down the left, and it was just hooked out by Minahan. Comes back to Johnson on the edge of the area now. He clips a high ball into the area, looking for Sue Fowles, the furthest man forward, heads it down, but it's not to anyone in particular, and it's picked up rather easily by the goalkeeper inside the 6-yard box. And West Ham went out to West Brom last season in the third round. The Baggies were in the Championship at the time. The Hammers... it was a fourth round actually. They beat Gillingham in the third round, but since they were runners-up in 2016, West Ham have only reached the quarter-finals twice in 14 years. Yeah, it's a poor record, really. From a club, they've up until that 1980 win, it had a very good record in the FA Cup.
Yeah, and they had a good run in 1991. They went to the semi-final against Nottingham Forest, and then Tony Gale got sent off by Keith Hackett.
Still moans about that to this day.
I know. He still moans about the fact that it wasn't a foul. and watch it back on YouTube now. I think it probably would have been given now. That's for sure. Here is Declan Rice trying to win the ball in a fight with Jordan Williams on the near touchline. Williams gets it back to his goalkeeper immediately, smashes the ball upfield. Dawson comes, big strong header. Reed made a sort of back and went into Dawson knowing that it was coming, and the free kick has gone against him. He isn't happy about it, but it's the right decision from Mike.
Yeah, I think look at the way the game's gone now, it's got a bit scrappy. You know, they're still dominating large proportion of the play, but they're not really getting any decent possession in the final third, and they're not getting this man on the ball enough. Lanzini, he's just giving a ball away.
The surface is not helping, is it? I mean, it has got a little bit cut up.
It's not bad. I mean, I don't think you'll find any complaints from West Ham. I think silly foul given away from Yarmolenko, but I think a little bit of frustration just starting to creep in here, Sam. You know, because West Ham haven't had a shot. I mean, Yarmolenko's had one shot. Apart from that, they haven't really created a chance, and that can be pretty frustrating when you're dominating the possession as much as they are.
And 2 shots, none on target so far in the game, and those fireworks that started in the 16th minute might just have disrupted the flow of the match as far as West Ham United are concerned.
We cannot use that as an excuse. I'm sure that the David Moyes will not come out, whatever the eventuality and the outcome of the game, and mention the fireworks.
Are you sure?
Not 100% sure.
Stockport 0, West Ham United 0. Alvin Martin and Sam Matterface at Edgeley Park on this rain-soaked evening. The ball is with Ben Rama. And he gets it back and then shoots from distance, but misses by miles. And it was a bit of a waste, really.
See, that's a part of his game there, Sam, that David Moyes has mentioned. You know, he's got tremendous technique, but he had 2 runs here ahead of him there, Antonio and Yarmolenko, and he could have played a ball through. And it was a really ambitious shot that he tried, and you can see Antonio and Yarmolenko both turn round and let him know.
Well, he's only on loan, isn't he, technically, from Brentford. And he hasn't scored yet for West Ham United, and that is probably a source of frustration for him. He did score 2 goals before he joined up against Fulham for Brentford in the EFL Cup, but he scored 17 last season in the Championship as part of the BMW attacking trident that Thomas Frank had put together. Very much broken up now. Only Mbuemo has remained in West 4.
It's not easy for a player, you know. He's coming on and he has to show what he's got in little spells. But look, you know, in football now, you've got to produce. You have to produce, and it's about him applying himself. He doesn't need goals, he doesn't need minutes on the pitch, but he has to make the manager play him. You know, that's what players have got to do. Only
a 10th appearance so far this season, and most of those have been as a substitute. Williams went down the touchline, tried to feed Kitchen on the overlap. The ball went out of play and away for a throw in to Stockport, which is about perpendicular with the edge of the West Ham 18-yard box, which is away to our left in front of that roofless stand. It's played in by Kitchen, gets it back off Rooney, then sends the ball into the centre. It's headed away back into the edge of the penalty area, looking for Reed to bring it down. It comes back to Williams, who strikes it first time. Never really looked comfortable or set. He was slightly off balance, and as it dropped out of the sky, he just sort of almost hit it with the underside of his foot, and it ended up spiralling behind and away for a goal kick.
I think he'll be disappointed when he sees that back. You know, that's an effort certainly that he should be able to get on target.
What was wrong with his technique?
Well, he just come off the outside of his left boot, didn't he? You know, he had to sort of just aim for the middle of the goal, and if it was slightly off left or right, it would have been a real problem for Randolph.
0-0, and Randolph hasn't had too much to do. The only thing really he had to do was that corner which came in, and he just sort of fielded. It came off the side of his glove. It slid off into the 18-yard box, but Stockport weren't able to capitalise. It remains goalless on Talk Sport. And here comes Lanzini trying to do something about that, moving it down the right side of the West Ham attack. Finds Soufal, is very high up on this right hand side. He plays it back into Noble to Yarmolenko. Yarmolenko trying to wriggle away from 1 or 2 in midfield. He gets past Kroosdown, then moves out to the left. He's dogged by Minahan, comes back to Noble, who chips it over the top looking for the run of Lanzini, away by Hogan. Good firm header out to this near side, and Kroosdown then will clear it towards the halfway line. Picked up in midfield by Lois Maynard, who is an international for St Kitts and Nevis, by the way. There's some pedigree in this team. He's formerly of Salford City. He comes from Cheetham Hill up the road, not too far away. Here is Yarmolenko picking the ball up and playing it towards Antonio, and he might get in behind here, but Hogan slides in just in time to nudge it away from the former Nottingham Forest man, and it's back to the goalkeeper.
That's what they've got to start doing a little bit more, West Ham, taking more chances, playing a ball with an element of risk on it, because at the moment everything's been in front, and we've just seen Declan Rice play a ball, and it did get cut out. Mark Noble as well, but take a chance. They are capable of winning the ball back straight away, so when you do get around the final third, try something unpredictable. At the moment everything's in front of Stockport.
TalkSport app is the place to go for easy access to TalkSport 2 and all our great podcasts, like TalkSport Daily and the Game Day Preview podcast and post-match podcast. You can also listen again to all your favourite shows via our TalkSport app, which you can download from the Google Play or from the iOS store. And of course, if you've got a smart speaker, you can just ask it to play TalkSport or TalkSport 2. Although, if you're like me, sometimes you do fall out with Alexa. It's like having an extra partner, isn't it? Sometimes you end up just having a little bicker every now and again.
Only one winner there.
Yeah. Me, I just turn off the power. Here's Dawson out on the right hand side, halfway inside opposition territory. He plays it into the centre. Rice just thrust it on. It's collected by Lanzini, and then it's collected by Yarmolenko, who loses out to a little challenge by Williams on the near side, and he's thrust out towards the near touchline again. And West Ham at the moment have just been contained a little bit here by Stockport County, who have found their way into the game. They've earned their way into the match, and they've just kept West Ham at bay so far. Yarmolenko plays it into Lanzini, then goes down. Lanzini takes a pot shot, which is just juggled a little bit by a falling goalkeeper in Ben Hinchcliffe, but he manages to regather it at the second attempt, and Stockport can play out from the back once more, 0-0.
Well, still there's a little improvement, I think, in terms of final third play here from West Ham. So they're dominating possession. They've got back into a groove again, and just a little bit more adventure, I think, in their play.
Well, West Ham have the ball. They've won it back through Noble, off Reed on the edge of the centre circle inside the West Ham half. It's worked out quickly to Ben Rama, who's dyed blonde hair, comes infield and looks up to play the ball to the right, and Rice, who's wearing a long sleeve black jersey tonight, out to Soufal. What do you reckon? Long sleeve or short sleeve for Soufal? Yeah, you were right. Definitely very short sleeved, almost cap sleeved. Ball played in by Rice up towards Ben Rama. Ben Rama waits, and Ben Johnson sort of darted down the left, waiting for the ball to come to him. It didn't quite, and then Antonio's trying to hold off the challenge of the central defender Jordan Keane. He managed to do that. West Ham retain possession, but they're playing in front of Stockport at the moment. They're halfway inside opposition territory. Noble tries a little delicate ball down the left, looking to play in Johnson. It's cut out by the fullback, but Antonio was backing up his teammate. Wins it, left wing cross towards the edge of the 6-yard box, headed away by Keane, and then played up towards the right, and Reed now runs to the halfway line. He hasn't got much support, but he's running at Obona. He goes on the outside, moves into the final third. Obama moves across, just edges him off the ball, and then plays it to Rice, who's come to lend a helping hand.
Good play, but again, Bono did really well as last defender. But did you see Declan Rice again helping him? Restricting the space that the attack had to work against Bono, and that's a facet of West Ham's play that's certainly improved.
A quick reminder of who West Ham will face should they beat Stockport County tonight. They will earn a game at home against Doncaster Rovers, and then in the 5th round, because that draw was made tonight, they will play the winners of the 4th round tie between Manchester United and Liverpool. Still a long way to go. We don't know who's going to go through at this stage, but there's some big games upcoming, including Chorley against Wolves in the next round of the competition, and I must admit I do have my eye on Cheltenham against Manchester City. What a great opportunity that is. League 2 Cheltenham against Manchester City and Pep Guardiola. He won't like going down there and getting changed at Wadham Road, will he?
He'll feel fairly confident, I think, whoever he plays.
Probably. Ben Rama tries to find Yarmolenko, who's moving down the right. I think West Ham were pretty confident about coming here and securing passage into the next round of the competition, but it hasn't been maybe as easy as they might have liked, Alvin Martin.
No, I think they're playing against a team that are full of confidence. They've obviously been coached. They all know their jobs. I think there's a real togetherness about them, which I expected, because they've been on a decent run all season. But I'm surprised how well they've moved the ball.
Oh, they're giving the ball away inside their own penalty area here, and it's come back towards Mark Noble, who's tried a shot which is sort of on the fall as he tried to intervene Liam Hogan's clearance, and it went straight through the 6-yard box. That was a moment of danger.
Yeah, Hogan I think he wanted to play out from the back at the wrong time there, and I think the experience of Mark Noble was up against him. He read what he was going to do, and he made a challenge, and he's lucky because the challenge, he got a good contact on the ball, Noble. The ball flashed across the face of goal.
Yeah, it really did. And that was a moment of nervousness for Hinchcliffe in the goal away to our right-hand side, and for Hogan, the captain. And that's one of those moments where you just check yourself, and you probably come out thinking, don't make a mistake, just keep it simple tonight, don't try and overplay. And then when you do something like that, you just have to calm yourself down. But he's far from doing that. He's actually come steaming through the middle of the pitch with the ball, played it into Rooney, who's given the ball away, and Ben Rama is now starting the counter charge. And now Antonio's got it inside the area, tries to take on the goalkeeper. Before he can do that, it's a brilliant recovery challenge by the retreating Lois Maynard. A brilliant intervention just before Antonio was about to pull the trigger and make it 1-0.
Well, he got it out from his feet, and he looked like he was going to get the shot away there, Antonio.
Here's Reid down the right, charging towards the edge of the box. Dawson comes across, and I don't think he committed a foul, but he has put it out for a Stockport County corner with 7.5 minutes to go before the conclusion of the first half, Alvin.
Just signs that it's lively enough from both points of view. You know, they've stayed in the game, which is what they had to do, Stockport, not concede the first goal, see if West Ham get frustrated and impatient, which they've showed signs of. But there is a little bit more about them now, West Ham. You know, that ball through to Antonio, more penetration to the way they're playing. But I tell you, when they turn the ball over, West Ham, they're going to have to be careful, because they certainly look like they've got, a know-how, Stockport, about how to get a goal in this game.
He's a speed demon as well, isn't he, Reid, down that right-hand side. Oh, Bonner's got to be a little bit careful because he fancies that channel. Here's the short corner, whipped in towards the near post. Oh, he went up there to try and head the ball goalwards. Crowsdale. Rooney was in there too, and it was very close to connecting.
Good header by Bonner, that really important header.
Big, strong defensive header away by Bonner. Well worked corner kick again, a short one taken and then whipped in towards the centre of the 6-yard box, Alvin.
Yeah, look, I think they've shown enough as well in this first half, Stockport, that the delivery is going to be good. You can see it. I was looking at the team thinking, what are they trying to achieve? And you can see that they want to pass the ball from the back. They can play long and direct when they have to. They've got the pace of Reid that you said as an out ball. So there's certainly enough problems here for West Ham to contend with. But I think the defensive side of the game has been really good from them as well to limit this attack-minded West Ham side to just minimal chances has been really good.
Ben Rama has it for West Ham in the pocket between the two central defenders. He moves out wide towards the right and finds Soufal. It's now Yarmolenko midway inside Stockport territory. Stockport 0, West Ham United 0 with 5 minutes to go before half-time. Antonio trying to turn and get a shot away. He does, and it again just goes narrowly wide, but it might have got a flick on the way through which sends it out for a corner. But you could see him eyeing up the opportunity as soon as he received the ball. Strong, muscular, and with an eye for goal. He had the intelligence to roll the defender quickly, and he smacked it just narrowly wide.
Well, he's looking more and more likely to be the opening goal scorer in this game, isn't he? I still don't think he's 100% right, but he's just starting to come into the game now from West Ham's point of view. Here's
the corner, Noble to take it, scoops it towards the edge of the 6-yard box, headed down by Bonner, took a little flick, did it? No, goes out and away for a goal kick away to our right-hand side. 5 minutes before half-time, I think that Jim Gannon will be pretty pleased with the first 40 minutes or so of the game here for Stockport. They've had a couple of scares, but they've survived those. The National League side, and their chairman Mark Stott will be pretty happy too. He's a local businessman who bought the club a year ago. He used to work in a chip shop down the road, sold adverts in a local paper, now runs a big property company and invested in this National League club, this famous old club that was in the Championship 20 years ago, just 12 months hence, and they did so much good in the lockdown for the NHS and the local people. He also funded a move to Manchester City's training ground at Carrington as well, so it is a club they feel that is going in the right direction. They've raised a bit of money from this as well. They've made some cash out of this tie, around about 100 grand for televising the match. They would much prefer to have fans in the ground, of course, but if you can't have that, take the money, and they will. Might secure one or two of the playing staff next season. Here is Noble on the halfway line for West Ham, who haven't had too many shots on Ben Hinchcliffe's goal. In fact, I don't think they've had a shot on target in the match yet, or if they have, it's been a pretty tame one. Maybe just the one so far.
Yeah, I think Hogan at the back there's certainly playing a captain's role. You can see he's got a little bit of everything. We've mentioned that he dwelled on the ball a little bit too long a few minutes ago, but overall he's been very good. He knows when to bring a ball down, he knows when to clear a ball. He's always in the right position. He's a good reader of the game.
Looks a bit like Frank Lampard in the press and publicity photos, but he's a little bit taller and more slender than Frank, I think.
Are you saying Frank's overweight?
No, not at all. I can't believe you've thrown that at me. He's younger than Frank. I'll give you that. Here's Ben Rama. Congratulations to Frank and Christine, by the way. I think they're expecting another child.
Yeah, great. I think he said they look like they're getting turned in a corner now, don't they? I think it's been a couple of a few weeks of pressure on Frank, but it's certainly looking like it's starting to lift for him.
Well, we'll see. Fulham, Chelsea, Saturday night, 5:30. Alvin Martin will be part of your commentary team live on TalkSport. That game's just been moved from Friday night to Saturday night for a live fixture on TalkSport, 5:30 this weekend. Fulham against Chelsea. Before that, game day continues with Wolves against West Brom. Very much looking forward to that one on Saturday lunchtime at 12:30. Here's Declan Rice in the FA Cup for West Ham United, taking on Stockport. It's goalless with 2.5 minutes before the break. Into Ben Rama, right side of the Stockport area. Now to Antonio, who stops the ball, waits, tries to play across the 18-yard line to Yarmolenko, who's on the edge of the D, and then it comes back out to the right after a brief clearance towards Soufal. Yarmolenko can't win it, hacked away by Reed, helping out his defence now, and it goes to the halfway line. Stockport don't want to drop too deep. There's still 2 minutes to go before the end, and we will have a lot of added time because of injuries and fireworks. Here's Rice taking matters into his own hands. He shoots from distances well wide.
He is somebody that's capable of scoring from that range, though, Declan. I think it's a part of his game that he's looking to improve on. But credit again to Stockport. I think they've just decided they want to keep it tight going into half-time. So I think it'll be a very positive team talk from Jim Gannon. The fact that they've set themselves out, they've protected the goalkeeper to a large degree, and although they've had a lot of good possession, West Ham, I think the defensive display in front of them has been good enough, obviously, to keep it at 0-0.
Well, 6 times West Ham have gone out at this stage, but they've tended to get tough draws, haven't they? They're Manchester United, City, Arsenal. There was the Forest humiliation when Sam Allardyce in charge.
Yeah,
then he played all the kids.
Wigan side, yeah.
I did that game live on TV, I think, if I remember rightly. Wigan, yeah. The draw at Shrewsbury wasn't particularly palatable a couple of years back either.
I was there, unfortunately, for that game. Yeah.
And you're here tonight. Good luck, charm.
Oh dear.
It's 0-0. I'm sure the quality will shine through.
Going to get the blame, is it?
I remember walking into the ground with you earlier on. You were so confident about everything, and then the fourth and fifth round draws were made as well. All of a sudden, you had a very different outlook.
Yeah, it's to and fro a little bit this night, I've got to say.
Offside flag is up against Soufal, and a free kick for Stockport in the left full-back position. We've got 30 seconds to go. Yes, the game was interrupted for about 2.5 minutes in the first half, after about the 16th minute, because of very loud fireworks that were set off behind the goal in the railway end away to our left-hand side. And since that moment, really, it sort of gave Stockport a rocket.
Yeah. I wonder, if it was one or maybe that guy or guys that actually put that all together. Well, they've just gone home now, have they? Watching the game on telly.
I wonder if they're waiting for another moment in the second half. Here comes Minahan down the right. 2 minutes of added time. He's got a chance to cross. Oh, it's hit the arm of Bonner inside the penalty area, maybe the body, and it's gone behind and away for a corner kick.
I didn't see any arm there. Unfortunately tonight, VAR's not in operation, so we're safe.
Well, it certainly came off Bonner in his midriff and went behind and away. And it is going to be another corner to Stockport in stoppage time at the end of the first 45 minutes. The first 45 minutes in which West Ham have bossed possession but haven't really done enough to create proper opportunities in the goal away to our right. And now they have to defend right at the very end of this first half. And the corner is incoming in towards the near post, and they try to whip it one in towards that near post, almost to put Randolph under pressure. He scampered towards it just in case, but it went straight out of play, and Jordan Williams, who delivered that, maybe just didn't get it quite right, Alvin.
No, and again, it's important that just put it in there, make West Ham defend. He's really let them off the hook. But I tell you what, I think his Jim Gannon's team talk will be very positive. But I think David Moyes can't point the finger at the approach of his players. I think they've come in and been very professional. They've certainly dominated possession. They've been really competitive. Sometimes you expect them to come in and expect it to be easy. They haven't got that look about them.
No, but it may be one of those games where they have to bide their time, be a little bit patient, and pick their moments in the second half. At the moment, they're going into the break 0-0. You're listening to Talk Sport, and Yarmolenko has it midway inside the Stockport half. On to Ben Rama now, who looks up. Can he find a way through a very tightly packed Stockport defence here? Tries to find Antonio, flicks it to his right. He had his back to goal, trying to bring in Lanzini, but it's cleared away over on the far side. Back it comes again with Declan Rice of West Ham United, who have dominated the ball in the first half. Out wide from Antonio into Johnson. Johnson, who tries to take on the full-back. Didn't really get that right. Connor Jennings, who went across there to block it, has managed to do a job. And there is the half-time whistle. Well, the fireworks interrupted that first 45 minutes, and after they started to explode behind the goal, it took the wind out of West Ham's sails. Up until that point, they'd been the dominant force, but it allowed Stockport back in it. David Moyes certainly promised a strong squad tonight and a strong performance. He delivered on the first, and they haven't been too bad in this first 45 minutes, but the Premier League side are struggling to cause enough grief for Stockport County. At the break, it's Stockport 0, West Ham United 0.
Thanks, Sags. Welcome back to the commentary box here at Edgeley Park, with the rain still coming down at a rapid rate, and we can see it in the corner of the Cheadle end and the stand opposite us. The rain is against the backdrop of the incredibly dark sky here in Cheshire, and you can see just how heavy it is. And that's the corner over on that far side from where West Ham United will come out. And Mike Dean actually has started to walk towards that corner, because I think he's had enough of standing out and waiting for West Ham.
Well, the Stockport players all right, because they're knocking the ball about and jogging about and staying warm, but Mike Dean can't, he hasn't got a ball, has he, Paul?
No.
Poor Mike Dean, he's on his own.
Yeah, and he's gone out, he's walked all the way over to the far corner now to hurry up West Ham United and get them out of the dressing room.
They haven't locked the door, have they?
Is he going to start giving them yellow cards?
I don't know. I mean, you have to be out, don't you?
They need a firework up them, don't they? Have got anyone who's got anywhere? And they're coming out now. I think they waited until Mike Dean had walked all the way to the corner flag, and then as soon as they did, they came from out around the corner just to say,
footballers wouldn't do stuff like that.
Gotcha. Now he's got to walk all the way back again. Well, that is indeed what is happening. A lot has been made, hasn't it, over the course of the last sort of 48 hours. We had him on breakfast this morning, of Ian Dowie's own goal. It's been talked about a lot this weekend. Not much gets said about the fact that I think he had a broken leg at one point and was playing on for West Ham United, and he when he came off and he was substituted, all sorts happened to him at times, but he was a big West Ham fan, and he was very disappointed about the goal. You are listening to Talk Sport. We're live here at Edgeley Park. And that was a bleak night in the history of the Hammers here in this stadium. David Moyes hoping that they can write a more positive chapter this season. Starting here, we had almost a 20-minute half-time tonight as a result of West Ham being sluggish, getting out of their sort of semi-refurbished conference hall behind the goal away to our right. But we're off and underway in the second half, and no changes for either of the two teams. And West Ham in black with gold trim will attack the goal away to our left. I'll now call it not the railway end, but the firework end away to our left, and Stockport County attacking the Cheadle end away to our right-hand side. And Ogbonna has the ball moving up to the halfway line. It's Randolph in goal for West Ham, Soufal, Dawson, Ogbonna and Johnson the back four, Rice, Noble in midfield, Yarmolenko, Benrahma and Lanzini behind Antonio in attack. The home team, Stockport County, have Hinchcliffe in goal. They have a back four of Sam Minahan as the right back, Jordan Keane and Liam Hogan in the centre of defence, with Mark Kitchen at left back, Lois Maynard and Ryan Crosdale in the centre of midfield, with Connor Jennings on the right hand side,
Jordan Williams on the left, and then John Rooney, the younger brother of Wayne Rooney, who won this competition only once with Manchester United, playing in the number 10 position behind Alex Reid. Here comes Rice nodding the ball forward, attacking the goal towards our left. And it's skewed out by Crowsdow on the far side, volleys the ball into touch. It's away for a throw-in midway inside the Stockport half. And I think it's worth pointing out that West Ham only had one shot on target in the first half, and that was the only shot on target in the game up until this point, Alvin Martin.
I think Ben Rahman probably come closest. He flashed one, didn't he, just wide of the post. But yeah, certainly they've got to create more in this second half. I think they will concentrate on the press more as well. I think if you can win a ball higher up the pitch, then they haven't got a chance to defend against your Stockport. So I think I just seen then the first press was certainly a lot better applied than they did throughout the first half, really.
Lanzini looking for a bit of wriggle room inside the Stockport half. He moves out towards the right. Rice plays a delicious ball down the right touchline. Soufal tries to get there. Across comes Hogan, puts it out, and it's away for the first corner of the second half, and it goes to West Ham United.
See, that was clever play again, Sam. That he's read that, he's seen it before it happened. He got himself into a position where he stopped really a cross coming in, and it was a cross that they got behind Stockport's back line. Very good play by Hogan.
Rice's ball was nice down that right side. His combination with Soufal we mentioned in the first half. It's a combination that those two have enjoyed so far this season. Here is the corner taken from the wide right position by Noble, headed down by Dawson into the 6-yard box, away by Hogan again. Dawson's still got it, works it out to the right. Yarmolenko trying to turn. The rain causing all sorts of problems here. Comes back to Rice, right angle of the penalty area. Noble comes across, the ball getting stuck a little bit, but there's a bit of space for Rice. Low cross into the centre, steered away by the retreating Mark Kitching, and it's out towards the far side and away for a throw-in to West Ham United. 0-0.
Excellent back heel there by Mark Noble. Unpredictable. It took them by surprise. Stockport got Declan Rice into a great position to whip a ball in.
Tussling for the ball over in the left full-back position. Yarmolenko thinks he should have the throw. Dan Robathan, the assistant, says that it's a Stockport throw, and Kitching will take it over on the far side. 63% possession in that first half, 37 for Stockport, 7 shots, 1 on target. None for Stockport County in that first 45 minutes, but they did have a moment where Darren Randolph came out to try and claim a corner kick, and it slipped off his glove. And apart from that, a goalmouth action has been few and far between here in the third round of the FA Cup, with the right to play Doncaster United in the next round, and then go on to play the winners of Manchester United and Liverpool in the 5th round, should they get past Doncaster. Doncaster might have something to say about that. People getting carried away. Here is an interception by Minahan, who wins it for Stockport on the halfway line. Spots Reid. Reid holds it up really well, plays it out to the far side, slides through the muddy turf, and Kitchen then gallops down the left. Gets caught in the rather sticky mud on the far side, lost the ball, and West Ham were able to clear.
I didn't realise that. That's just a part of the pitch where that ball nearly stopped. We haven't seen that up to this point. So the rain's starting to have an effect on the running of the ball, which is not easy.
Yeah, I just noticed that at the beginning of the second half. There was a couple of times where the ball just got stuck underfoot, and it certainly is causing a problem now. And Ben Johnson, going for a tackle because he thought the ball was going to run into an area, didn't quite get there, and he didn't quite get there as a result of that. Brings down Reid, gives away a free kick. Alvin Martin.
Yeah, well, I think the game has changed now. The conditions have certainly changed, and while it's been persistent, the rain hasn't looked over heavy, but it's certainly starting to affect the players' footing now.
Well, this free kick will be taken a shade right of centre inside the West Ham half, and Rooney will hit it. Randolph just lining up his defence. He's very wide over to the right of his goal. Rooney, who has scored from distance, probably will swing this into the box rather than trying to shoot, but he sends it into a dangerous area. Randolph comes out, pats the ball down, and takes charge of the situation, and will clear for West Ham United. It's still 0-0.
Those situations, Sam, I always feel more comfortable sitting here, as an ex-West Ham player, because I always know that they're going to be well coached in that area, where to hold the line, who's going to attack the ball. Certainly David Moyes has been renowned for that throughout his managerial career, of getting it right.
Rice exchanging passes with Noble, getting to the right wing position, to the byline where he produces a cross which is very deep, headed away by Minahan, only as far as Johnson, who strikes it right-footed into the wall, comes back out again. Noble recycles it, West Ham on the attack, Soufal with the delivery, headed away from the edge of the box by Jordan Keane, and won by Maynard in midfield, and then he takes his time before getting it back to Hogan and then all the way back to the goalkeeper. And they've got to be careful with those back passes now as well, because if the ball isn't running true, is getting held up on the playing surface, which has got a little bit stodgy, then you've got to make sure that if you do send the ball back to the goalkeeper, it gets to its intended target.
Well, certainly, even the players, their footing, you're not confident in it.
Here is Jennings down the centre of the pitch, looking to play the ball out wide. It's won over on the far side by Williams. Soufal thought he'd cleared it, but it didn't reach the touchline, and it comes back in again. They've given away a corner.
Well, that area of the pitch there where Soufal is actually operating is the worst on the pitch, isn't it? That right-hand side, right in the about a 10 yards circle, really, on the edge of the West Ham penalty area. It's certainly, whenever the ball's gone in there, it's more or less stopped dead.
Years ago, Sale Sharks used to play here, but that's not the case anymore. Ball is out of play over on the far side, and the corner to be taken over on that far touchline by Rooney, who's placed the ball down inside the quadrant. He's got quite a few to aim at, including Keane and Hogan, who are by the edge of the 6-yard box. The ball goes through the middle of the penalty area, crowded. It's along the floor and it's easily cleared by West Ham, and it's all the way back over the halfway line into goalkeeper Ben Hinchcliffe for Stockport, who fires it forward, and Soufal has misread that, and it's gone over his head, but fortunately for him, it's gone past Jordan Williams and out for a throw-in.
Yeah, I think the second half really has been a mirror of the first half, isn't it? Possession for West Ham, not really doing enough with it in terms of quality. And Stockport showing the odd bit of invention on the counter-attack, very similar to the first half. I just wonder if he will start now thinking about maybe his change. He has the bench to make the changes, I think, David Moyes.
Yeah, he's got Thomas Souček waiting on that bench, Jared Bowen waiting on that bench as well. Options for David Moyes. And remember, if it does go the distance and it is 0-0 after 90 minutes, we will have extra time and penalties. Some Premier League teams have had to deal with penalties this week when playing lower league opposition. Just ask Graham Potter. Needed Jason Steele to make several saves last night in the game between Newport and Brighton. And Burnley was struggling too at one point. Here is Jennings trying to get through the centre of the centre circle. Again, it gets held up in that middle area. He tries to poke it through to Reed, and now Lanzini turns it over and works it out to the far side, the West Ham right. He moves up to the edge of the area. Yarmolenko looking for Soufal again. Soufal didn't quite read the flight of that, then tried to play it infield for Lanzini, couldn't reach it, cleared away, and it's out for a throw-in over on the far side after an intervention by Maynard.
It's so difficult, Sam, to play that ball. It's the weight of the ball is so important, and the better quality ball that you're going to try and play is just leaving it in behind somebody. But when it's stopping like this, and the pitch is really difficult, you can't judge it. It's impossible.
Well, Ogbona's almost tied himself into a bit of a knot there. He almost gave it away on the halfway line to Alex Reed. Didn't quite happen, and he recovered his faculties, got his legs back sorted, and will start again with Noble on the near side. The rain has come tumbling down all evening here, and it's left its mark on the pitch, which has really clogged up. The ball is on the right side with Lanzini. He comes centrally and finds Ben Rama. Ben Rama runs square midway inside Stockport territory. He finds Dawson. Dawson lends it out to the wide right position and Rice, and then gets it back again, then goes for Soufal, then Yarmolenko takes over, and Soufal's got on the overlap. Can he get to the ball first ahead of the defender? He can't, and it's good work by Jordan Williams, the winger, putting himself in between ball and man, and then turning the ball into the stand opposite us. Still 0-0.
I don't want to repeat myself, Sam, but you've got to give credit to Stockport. West Ham have asked a lot of questions of them in every area, and they've come up with the answers. And I think they're an intelligent team. It's not just a case of getting behind the ball. There's a thought process and intelligence about the way they've approached it.
Yeah, impressive. Here's Noble though, on the edge of the area, exchanging passes with Lanzini. Tackle comes in from Maynard. The ball spills into the right corner of the Stockport box. It's won by Jennings, who clears upfield. Reed tries to hold on to it, can't do so. Rooney chases. The ball's loose on halfway, and Rice will turn it round and play into Soufal. Get it back and then drive forward. Get it off Antonio. Keep going. Good intervention by Kitchen though. And Stockport keep answering those questions that are being posed to them by West Ham United of the Premier League. 86 rungs above them on the ladder, but at the moment this is hugely competitive, and then Bonner and Noble almost get themselves into a bit of grief deep inside their own territory, but they just about get themselves out of it.
Well, it's all it's going to take is one mistake by West Ham. You know, they're still very much in the game, Stockport, and they've certainly got pace up front with Reed as well, which is it's going to be a constant threat. The longer the game goes on, Falmouth they dominate. Ben Rama just sliding into the board there, but they're dominating possession. But whenever you do turn it over, if he gets himself one-on-one with anyone at the back, you fancy him in a foot race, Reed.
Ben Rama went sliding across the turf there, hurtling towards one of the electronic advertising boards like he was going down a ride at Wet n Wild.
Well, he certainly scooted in. He's just taking his gloves off as well, so he means business.
Well, the gloves weren't helping him stay on his feet there, were they? He was sliding through the turf at a rapid rate. It's so slippy out there now. Really moist underfoot, and it remains Stockport County 0, West Ham United 0. And are West Ham United going to slip out of the FA Cup? Slip up at Edgeley Park?
Well, sometimes I think when you get a surface like this, and these sort of conditions now are where they are, it's some form of a leveller. And that
how much of a leveller is it?
I think the control that they've had, and a lot of the balls that they've played well tonight have been the ones that they've just waited in behind the fullback for somebody to run onto. All of a sudden, that aspect of your game is taken out of it because you've got to place your feet rather than leave balls in behind, Sam. So I think it takes a fair amount of your attacking technique out of the equation, which will help. Certainly Stockport.
I think they're going to make a couple of changes in a second. West Ham United, who have had a few bumps in the road in the Cup over the years. Here is Rice driving through the penalty area into the box, trying to get a shot away. Bounces off Hogan and it's cleared away. A little flick off, I think it's Lanzini who was in the way, who's trying to protect himself, he says to Mike Dean, but a free kick has been given for handball for West Ham inside the D away to our left.
Declan Rice must have travelled about 40 yards with that ball at his feet. He's so powerful, Sam. He's
getting better and better
athlete,
as well.
A real athlete, I tell you. When he's in his stride, he's hard to stay with.
And he's getting bigger.
Yeah.
Much bigger. As time goes on, Declan Rice, he's now 21 years of age. He's yet to score this season. The only goal he's managed in the last little while was against Iceland at Wembley for England. Here is an opportunity to swing the ball into the centre for West Ham. Lanzini wins a header, but it's cleared away by Kitchen. Noble will get hold of it. Remember the Oxford game last year? 4-0 in the League Cup? That was a slip-up. They don't want a repeat of that. There is a little bit of a concern, possibly, that when Rice drove into the penalty area, there may well have been a flick off a Stockport hand. It may well have been a little bit too close to call. I think it was very tight inside that 18-yard box.
There were 4 or 5 bodies in there, and it was ricocheting the ball. I don't see how you can give handball for that.
Jennings, don't say that nowadays. Ball is sent down the right. It's held up, splashes around to Minahan, who manages to get across it anyway. Jennings tries to play it low in towards the near post. It's blocked by the retreating Noble. And then as they attempt to clear West Ham United, the ball spirals, looks as if it's going to go out of play, then teases everybody by almost stopping on the byline, and then it goes eventually out for a goal kick.
Well, there's a spell, of part of the pitch on this left-hand side now that's starting to get clogged up. And it seems to be in West Ham's penalty area. That's the Stockport end of the pitch looks to be okay, doesn't it?
What are you trying to say?
Well, it's not fair.
You don't think there's some shenanigans going on? 15 minutes gone in the second half. Stockport County 0, West Ham United 0. Sam Matterface and West Ham legend Alvin Martin alongside us. 596 appearances, is that right?
It was, yeah, I believe so.
Yeah, a member of the 1980 World Cup winning side where Trevor Brooking managed to score the winning goal over Arsenal. Haven't won anything since then. Alvin was in the team. Billy Bonds, Ray Stewart, Paul Allen, Jeff Pike, Stuart Pearson. Gave Arsenal a right bloody nose that day, didn't you?
Good memory you got, Sam. Plugging all our names out before you were born.
No, it was 2.
Oh, right, sorry. I asked for that, didn't I?
Here's Maynard up to the halfway line, plays it out to Jennings near side. He just tries to push the ball into an area, but it doesn't reach Rooney. Cut out by Dawson and taken to the halfway line by West Ham. Still 0-0 the score on Talk Sport. Live coverage from Edgeley Park, where West Ham are toiling a little bit in the mud and the rain and the wind here to Edgeley Park. The Hatters, as they are known, Stockport County, are causing a few issues, and they're about to bring on the big man up front in Richard Bennett.
I think that certainly, from West Ham's point of view, David Moyes will be looking at his bench, and they're all warming up at the moment. But he does have, Jared Bowen who can run with the ball. Certainly Souček, who you'd expect from set pieces to be a real threat for Stockport. Potential match winners, certainly.
It's Reid off, and on comes Bennett, and I think Reid has done pretty well during the course of the game, leading the line for his team. And Richard Bennett, who hasn't been prolific this season, comes onto the field of play to go into that number 9 position, leading the line for Stockport County. Grew up in the Oldham youth team before moving on to Port Vale, played for Morecambe, Carlisle, Curzon, Ashton and Northwich, Victoria, where he played under Jim Gannon. Gannon obviously liked something that he saw there just down the road and in Northwich, and brought him to Edgeley Park when he returned here for yet another spell as the manager. Here comes Ben Rama for West Ham, moving towards the edge of the box. It's into the feet of Yarmolenko, who's stumbling and just about recovering to get it wide right into Soufal, whose cross is blocked, and it goes out for a throw-in over by the corner flag, and I think the ball's just gone out and behind and into the reservoir.
I think David Moyes has seen enough. He's in dialogue down there with his coach, and it looks like it's Jared Bowen who's been summoned over to him.
Just about to come on. I think he was one that they felt needed a bit of a rest. He does so much work. This game is going to take it out of them as Rice floats one into the penalty area. A dangerous ball which bounces inside the 6-yard box but wide of goal, and no one there to tuck it home. And because of the heaviness of the pitch, because it's gone from a good playing surface to good to soft to now soft and possibly heavy underfoot, it does sap you a little bit more, doesn't it? Well, it might have further implications.
Yeah, you certainly want one extra time, that is for sure. You want to get the job done in 90 minutes.
Well, there's under half an hour to play, and it is Stockport County of the National League, the non-league, 0. West Ham United of the Premier League, 0. And West Ham's last tussle with a non-league side was a little bit edgy. Frank Lampard and John Hartson scoring as they beat non-league Emley 2-1 in 1998. Do you remember that game? Emley?
That one's passed me by, I think.
Yeah, I couldn't remember that. When I was looking it up a little bit earlier on today. And West Ham played without a sponsor that day. I looked at the pictures of Frank Lampard very early in his career. Here is Hogan, the captain, clipping the ball down the right touchline. Expect some high balls into the West Ham box now that Bennett is on the field. He's 6'4" and he's tall and he's lean and fair. And now the ball has run through to Jennings, who's charging to the edge of the box, and Minahan can drive the ball in towards Jennings again at the near post, takes a deflection inside the 6-yard box. Noble tries to clear, and it was good positioning from Dawson that stopped that shot from going on target.
Well, that was good play by Stockport. They really got men forward. You see, there were a lot of blue shirts in there, Sam, and it was a pop at goal. Maybe should have done better. Should have been left or right, and certainly trying to pick a corner out. But it was struck well. Dawson, I think, was the one who blocked it. But they're starting to. They will get chances, Stockport. And I think the frustration and the impatience that West Ham will start to feel now will maybe give them more opportunities. Stockport, will they be brave enough, have enough adventure to be able to push people forward? I think they will.
Well, it's going to be a dicey few minutes for West Ham United, and that's why they're making a double change. We're about to see not only Jared Bowen, but also another change as well in the not too distant future. Just having a quick look to see who it is. It's Souček, I think.
Yeah.
Thomas Souček, who's bending down doing his little laces up.
You can see both of them. Jared obviously is somebody that will put quality in the box. He'll run with the ball. He'll take people on. Souček is somebody that will put a shift in terms of midfield, but also be a constant threat within the air. So they'll be looking at certainly delivering and letting him go from midfield into the box with so much ball and possession getting wide. You haven't really got a 6 foot plus somebody up front. Antonio's strong and physical in some ways, but certainly Souček is the better bet in the air.
Well, that's an area they're going to have to deal with, isn't it? Antonio up front. They're going to need more than just him as they play the ball forward up to Bennett, left hand side. He's charging forward for Stockport. He goes towards the edge of the area, needs a bit more support. He tees it back up towards Williams. Jordan Williams sends it under the crossbar, and it's too close to Darren Randolph, and it's easily gobbled up by the Republic of Ireland international goalkeeper. But then once again West Ham had the ball inside opposition territory, were pushing, then lost it, Stockport turned it over and quickly went on the counter charge.
Well, Stockport are starting to show a lot more intent now, and they are getting people forward.
Look at this, Kitchen, the left fullback, bounding forward down the left side, moving towards the edge of the area, needs a bit of support. Rooney breaks into the box, takes one touch, goes up against Ogbonna, then lays it back. Bennett cracks it, and it's stopped by Ogbonna before it can get out from under his feet. Another chance for Stockport, who are coming on strong now. 0-0 the score. Stockport against West Ham here on TalkSport. Picked up on the right side, driven forward by Jordan Keane, the centre half, who's only 10 yards now from the West Ham penalty area. Fires it into Minahan, a little bit too heavy, but the foul by Ben Rama has gifted a free kick in a dangerous area for Stockport, wide on the right.
Well, you've got to give Stockport credit, Sam. You know, they've had to defend valiantly tonight, which they've done throughout the game, but they are a team that know when to let people go, and they're releasing people forward. They're sensing maybe that there's a goal in this for them.
Well, the free kick is going to be taken on this near side. There's going to be a change before that. It looks as if the first change of the night is going to be the end of Yarmolenko, and he's going to come off and be replaced by Jared Bowen, who obviously is a key asset for West Ham United. And the second change is Lanzini, who comes off for Souček. And wearing 28 and the scorer of the winning goal against Everton, he also comes onto the field of play, and he's been such a threat in the air, and they'll need him for this free kick. I think that's one of the reasons why they've made the subs now, Alvin, is to get him on to try and help defend this set piece, which is going to be fired into the box from the right hand side, and they'll be dripped in towards that penalty area. And Bennett is up there. He's the lead striker with the 9 on his back now. Also got Jordan Keane inside the area. It's whipped in towards the near post. It's gone all the way through to Bennett, who's trying to turn, can't get it out of his feet. Ben Johnson manages to stab it to the right, retrieved by Jennings, and then picked up on this near side and clipped forward by Jordan Williams, but he's overhit that, and it's going to run out for a goal kick, and it remains goalless.
Well, you've got to say they've shown a lot of courage, I think, the way they've set themselves up here, and they are leaving themselves one-on-one. I've looked at that set piece there. They had everybody in there. They're playing one-on-one at the back. You know, the right back for them, Minahan, is marking Antonio, and I tell you, you wouldn't want to be marking him one-on-one with all that space, because he is so powerful and quick.
Here is Ogbonna wearing gloves tonight, moving up to the halfway line. Rain still teeming down here at Edgeley Park. Headed into the air by Bennett, who came back to help out his defence. Hogan threw himself at the ball, didn't quite reach it, and there's excellent work over on the far side defensively. Brilliant work by Jordan Williams, who smashes the ball into Soufal's face, and it goes behind for a goal kick, but I think he took it right in the chops.
You know, sometimes I see players go down and think, oh, you know, come on, get up. But, you know, on that occasion there, I felt that one myself from here.
And we felt a bit tonight, haven't we? We had that firework explosion which rocked us to the core earlier on, and it hasn't been as cold tonight, which is good. It's been quite a pleasant evening
mild,
here. It's mild, yeah. It's just the rain that's caused a problem. Not for us. We're up high in the main stand towards the back, a row from the back of the painted white brick which is behind us, the corrugated iron roof high above our head, protecting us, giving us shelter from the lashing rain. The pitch stodgy and pitted with mud patches appearing all over it at the moment, and it's stopping the ball from running completely true, and that's why West Ham really have started to surrender a little bit of opportunity to Stockport County in this second half, who have had the best opportunity of the second half so far. Ball clipped forward down the left, and they come again with Bennett, who's running towards the left hand side, and you can play maybe a little bit more of an ambitious ball into an area like that now, Alvin, because it might just hold up for you. It didn't on that occasion, but it did previously, so there's no reason why you can't just toss it down that channel.
Well, it's certainly one that they can gamble with, Stockport, and the defenders don't know what to do, really. They don't know whether it's going to carry through, so sometimes you can have anticipated it. You expect it to run on, and it sticks behind you, and the forward behind you then has got possession. It makes you very nervous, let's just say, as a defender, and Stockport can use that to their advantage now.
The ball is over on the far side, the right. Jared Bowen joins the West Ham attack. He tries to flick his way past Kitchen into the penalty area. He's held up by Kitchen. Foul's given against him, and there's another free kick.
I still can't see too much from West Ham at the moment. It's they've lost the way. They've made their substitutions. Jared Bowen's coming on, trying to run with the ball on that right hand side, but the conditions aren't helping his game. And Souček, really up to this point, we haven't got a ball into the box for him to attack either.
Well, I'm sure there'll be an opportunity for a set piece of some sort for Bowen to take, or maybe Ben Rama to flick into the area, and I can imagine if that happens, Souček will be the favourite to get his head upon it. That may well be the game changer.
I think you're right. I think down below us now, Cresswell's going to come on. I think the delivery that you were mentioning, there you go. So that's certainly what was you were reading David Moyes' mind.
Me and David Moyes, kindred spirits. Well, we both get on with Stuart Pearce. There you go. Here's Rooney over on the far side. Tries to send it into the left channel, looking for Jordan Williams. Bowen was there to rescue it for West Ham. His ball was stepped over by Mike Dean, who almost got in the way. Minahan tidies up for Stockport County, and it remains 0-0 and goes back to the goalkeeper, whose purple goalkeeping kit is glistening now under the floodlights because of the fact that the rain has drenched him so much in this second half. Here's that change then that Alvin was alluding to, and off comes Ben Johnson, as he's pretty obvious. On comes Cresswell, who has played every minute in the Premier League this season, and he's played as not only a left back but also as a left centre half, but his free kick delivery is usually impeccable, and he creates goals from set pieces. He's a former England international, hasn't been capped since 2017, but he's the kind of substitute that Premier League teams can bring on in circumstances like this.
Well, he's certainly somebody that is, I think, consistently 7 out of 10. Sam, he's that sort of character, and I think his left foot, is a wonderful left foot.
Hogan just seeing it back to his goalkeeper under pressure from Antonio as the ball was played down the West Ham United left. And it's cleared up into the sky, and Hogan's got a bit of a deep one to deal with here, but it's a big strong header out towards the far side, and then that's a really good delivery forward by Jordan Williams, who from left midfield, and Bennett's robbed the defender Dawson, and he's splashed into the area. He's trying to set up Rooney, but across comes Ogbonna and clears it away. Well, Bennett did really well. Williams' turnover over on the far side sent the ball long down the touchline. Bennett chased it into an area on the edge of the box. There's that gamble ball we were talking about just a few minutes ago. They'd done that Stockport County when Williams' ball found Bennett, who almost got away from Dawson. He just splashed up in the greasy turf of the heavy pitch inside the 18-yard box, and when he tried to set it back for Rooney, it wasn't perfect, and Ogbonna just about tied it up.
Yeah, Dawson got away with it. He apologised immediately, but it's, again, it's just a lack of concentration there from Dawson, which you don't expect from him.
Here they come again with Williams into the area. The water splashing up ridiculously, and then it breaks on the left-hand side, and it's swung in by Rooney, and it's stopped by the goalkeeper Randolph. Over on that far side, it's like they're in a paddling pool.
Well, Soufal tried to dink a ball. He tried to actually take a ball out of the penalty area in that wet patch, and he got caught out. He got stuck, and he got it nicked off him.
Crikey. Do you remember the end of Gladiators?
Yeah.
Gladiators ready. Contestants ready. Remember that?
Oh, that one. I thought you meant the film.
No. Oh, given away by the goalkeeper on the edge of the area. Ben Rama tries to send it toward the far post, and it's missing the target and going behind for a goal kick. I was about to say, that challenge that they do at the end where they have to run up that travelator thing.
Yeah.
That's what it's like running out here at the moment.
I don't really get that one.
Where it's difficult to run because the thing's going the other way.
Yeah,
so heavy underfoot.
Whatever.
No, okay, right. Obviously weren't a John Fashanu or Rika Johnson fan.
Sam, stick to your commentating.
I'd have a go at Gladiators if they brought it back. Why not?
Well, I'll tell you, the game has certainly not been easy for West Ham, but sometimes you can point the finger at a Premier League side and say, did they do things right? I've got to give a lot of credit to Stockport, the way they've set the stall out, Sam. Technically and tactically, they've been really, really good.
Got Dancing on Ice starting next week. There's been more falling over on this rink than there will be in that one. Here is Connor Jennings down this right side, back towards the halfway line. Oh, it's a dicey ball back to his goalkeeper by Jordan Keane. Not sure that's the right thing to do at this stage. Kicked long by Hinchcliffe up towards Bennett, who've only got 15 minutes to go, Alvin, and it is 0-0 between Stockport of the National League against West Ham United, expected to come here and win.
And in conditions that aren't great from West Ham's point of view, which is...
well, they're not great from anyone's point of view, really, are they?
But West Ham especially, I think, even the possession hasn't been as good because of the pitch. I do blame the pitch for a certain amount of that. But look, you've still got to be able to deal with it. Certainly, I thought they might have played a bit longer now that Souček's in, and maybe trying to get more balls in the box. But I don't think their possession has been good enough to allow that.
Souček plays it square through the centre circle for Noble, who just motors up towards the right angle of the penalty area. It comes back through Jared Bowen, who drops deep, and then so do the Stockport defence. Almost every one of the blue shirts behind the ball as Cresswell finds Souček, and then he runs to the edge of the area. It's taken in by Ben Rama, who tries to flick it into the box. It's not a great delivery, and it just drifts behind.
See, Ben Rama, really, he's got to give that to Soufal. He's out on the right back position. Souček has fed him the ball and then made his way into the penalty area, expecting Soufal to get the ball and deliver it, and then he can make a run. And for some reason, he's cut inside with it there. Ben Rama, and played it, needlessly into the hoarding.
It's not quite an all-seater stadium. There is a corner of the pitch over on the far side where terracing remains. It's not in use, obviously at the moment anyway, but it's not in use. It is a really good little stadium for a non-league side. It hosts 10,000 people. Can you imagine the noise in here that would have been generated if it had been full tonight? What an occasion it would have been.
And that crowd would have been very proud of their home team, I'll tell you, because they've been inspired tonight.
That two-tiered Cheadle end away to our right-hand side certainly would have been thronging. The Danny Bagheera stand, named after their late manager, had 6 very successful years here and started that charge up into the upper echelons of the football pyramid. They played in the Championship 2 decades ago, Stockport County, but they've had very little to cheer about in recent years. And they are certainly taking West Ham United to task here with 12 minutes remaining of normal time. You're listening to Talk Sport with Sam Matterface and Alvin Martin live at Edgeley Park this evening. As the ball breaks forward with Craig Dawson, he hesitates, a little bit uncertain, tries to turn away from Rooney and plays it out towards the left-hand side where Noble helps it on. Noble, his hair is plastered to his forehead because of the rain. The ball goes into the centre. Hogan steers it. Oh, it's missed by the goalkeeper. Almost falls for Bowen, but it's cleared away by the retreating Jordan Keane, and he gets it out of the penalty area. A chance to break, possibly. Good take in by Bennett, who received it from Jennings, and he charges over the halfway line. He's just gathering ground now, trying to make up yardage down the right-hand side. And when he tucks it back to Jennings, there's a bit of miscontrol going on from Connor Jennings. And it goes out of play and away for a throw on this near side.
He's done well since he arrived, hasn't he, Bennett?
Yeah.
Big centre forward, playing in front of Stockport. He's ran the channels, he's covered the ground, he's worked hard, he's held the ball up. Technically, he looks good.
West Ham have it. They've taken it over the halfway line. Warming up another substitute now, Stockport County. Maybe throwing somebody else on to try and make a difference at the end of this game in the dying embers. Imagine what would happen if they were to score a late goal against West Ham United. Yeah, they would be hitting the back pages tomorrow, that is for sure. We're 10 minutes away from extra time on TalkSport. West Ham won't want that with a congested league campaign still to play and the possibility of the FA Cup 4th round against Doncaster, and then if they get past that, and it's a big if they're playing as they are at the moment, maybe in conditions not too dissimilar, you never know. It'll be at the London Stadium, so it should probably be okay. And they could place the winners of Manchester United and Liverpool in round 5, but that all seems a very, very long way away at the moment because they're struggling against Stockport County. It's 0-0. Noble has it outside the area, about 5 yards back from the perimeter of the box. He goes down the left and finds Ben Rama. A splash of rain comes up the side of his boots as Noble tries to dance into the box. They shove him out towards the right side, but it's Cresswell delivers it in towards Antonio. It goes through his legs and it's hooked away by the retreating Kitching, who came in from left back and just about got there as Antonio was ready and turning to pounce.
Clever play by Cresswell. He couldn't have known anyone was in there. He just put it into an area that was somebody should have been, really. And anyone would have read that. It would have been an easy tap in, but great delivery on his left foot.
West Ham struggling a little bit here on Talk Sport with just 10 minutes to go. The ball is on the right and it's collected now by Declan Rice. Rice tries to play it forward on to Noble into Antonio, and now it's picked up by Souček onto Rice once again. Now Bowen spins after giving the ball to Craig Dawson into the right channel, but doesn't get it back again. It goes to Soufal wide on the right into the centre. Souček diving with a header over the bar. Well, that's going to be the recipe, isn't it? Getting the ball wide or getting it into set-piece areas and trying to get it onto the head of Thomas Souček.
Yeah, it's not rocket science, that, is it? You've got, somebody who's excellent in the air. You've got, full-back in Soufal that wants to get forward. Cresswell on this left-hand side. You will get decent possession now and opportunities to put it in there. When you do put it in there with quality, and that had quality written all over it.
Macaulay Southern Hales is about to come on, and he is going to replace Connor Jennings, who worked his backside off on this near side, didn't he, during that first 80 minutes that we've had here at Edgeley Park. Here comes the first touch for the substitute on the right hand side, Macaulay Southern Hales, and before he can reach it, it's tidied up by Darren Randolph. Big 10 minutes this for David Moyes.
Yes, it certainly is for West Ham.
Big 10 minutes for West Ham United, who don't want to go out early as they have done so often in this competition since reaching the final. It's a good ball down the right. It's aiming towards the near post, and it's tucked in by Souček towards that near post. It goes out of play and away for a corner kick to West Ham United. Just what they want.
Well, fabulous ball from Souček that was. Inch perfect.
It's taken on the right hand side, swung into the penalty area, and it's glanced in, by Craig Dawson to put West Ham United into the league. It was that recipe of getting it wide out to Bowen, who motored up towards the angle of the penalty area, a left-footed cross towards the edge of the 6-yard box, and Craig Dawson was there to glance it in and surely glance West Ham into the 4th round of the FA Cup. It's taken a very long time for them to make the breakthrough, but finally, with 7 minutes to go, they've done it.
Well, the quality delivery was what this was all about. There was still a lot to do when it reached the head of Dawson. He had to redirect it, and he did a fabulous job of that. No chance whatsoever for Hinchcliffe in the Stockport goal.
Well, Jared Bowen has had to come off the bench, be called off the bench by David Moyes to provide a moment of quality. That quality was delivery into the box when Dawson, who charged in late, it was taken very quickly, the corner kick, and he was still coming up from the back when eventually the ball went square towards the edge of the box. It was swung in towards Dawson and he glanced it home.
No keeper's getting anywhere near that, Sam. He had so much pace on it. He generated a lot of pace, and off the wet surface, it was past the keeper before he knew it.
Worth waiting for?
Well, yeah. Look, I still think there's something in this game for Stockport, because they've been so good tonight, and they've proved that they can cause problems for West Ham.
Might just puncture any momentum that they had. And goalkeeper Hinchcliffe has just come out towards the left of the edge of the area, and he's kicked the ball onto the roof of the Danny Bagheera stand opposite us, the family stand as it's now known. They've got a big sign on top of it because Manchester Airport is not too far away, so they can sell advertising space, a little bit like Brentford used to do in Chiswick. Here is Souček into the area. Oh, he goes down under a challenge. Mike Dean is looking at it. He doesn't give a penalty. He gives a corner.
Excellent
despite
challenge.
the challenge from Keane.
An excellent challenge. It was Antonio who was claiming it. Souček wasn't. He knows that it was a good challenge. But look, I said it before the game, Sam, the difference now in West Ham is that when they don't play well, and they haven't been great tonight, they still know how to get a job done. And it's not done yet, but certainly a team that knows how to get results.
Triple substitution coming for Stockport as the corner comes in towards the near post. Hogan heads it away out to the far side. I think it's another is it a throw-in down by the corner flag, or is it a corner? It's gone out right on the corner, and it's gone up into the steps behind where Jared Bowen is, and he wants a spare ball tossed to him. Eventually one is forthcoming. Here is the 3-man substitution. Thomas coming on, and Can't quite see who's coming off, but Minahan is coming off, I know that much. He's just moving over towards the near side. Rooney's coming off as well, so it's all change for Stockport County. Thomas, Hinchy and Palmer all coming on. As in the last few minutes they're desperate to try and do something. Jack Hinchy coming into the fray, but it's first of all a bit of defending that they've got to do before they can try and cause a surprise at the other end. Trailing now by a goal to nil with 4 minutes remaining. West Ham have yet another corner over on the far side, and it's going to be tossed in by Bowen right under the goalkeeper, who punches it clear out as far as Ben Rama, and then Stockport try to break, but they can't because Noble snuffs out any attempt at trying to get the ball forward. A back heel in the splish sploshing surface to Ben Rama in towards the 18-yard box, headed away, comes back to Ogbonna, collected by Cresswell. Cresswell now out to Noble, tackle which sends the ball out of play. It's a West Ham United throw, and it's still 1-0 to the Premier League team.
Well, certainly time to keep the ball, play sensible, keep possession, get into the corners, and know how to kill the game off now, and don't offer any encouragement whatsoever to Stockport, and I think they've got enough experience out there to be able to do that.
Well, it only needs one chance for Stockport, but they were getting chances prior to conceding that goal. They haven't had one since, but Vladflu Sesufau has just decided to just whack the ball out as far as possible, because it came to him. He was under pressure over on that far side, and he just thought, there's no way on this earth I am giving them half a chance. I'm getting rid of it. And he did that. Ball collected in midfield by Maynard, played out towards the near touchline, collected by Hogan up into midfield, ball dabbed down, and it's Kroistow who sends it to Thomas, who's at the heart of the defence now. Forward by Keane, up towards the edge of the area, and Bennett was looking for it, but it's away by goal scorer Dawson. Bennett is flicked it on. Sufau's got defending to do here because pressure is coming from Kitchen. The ball's gone out of play. It's a corner to Stockport County with 2 minutes and 10 seconds remaining, Alvin.
Well, certainly, on that right-hand side, Sufau will feel, why is my part of the pitch so saturated? It's making it really difficult for him. I didn't know what else he could do, because he couldn't dig the ball out of the water, which meant that he got stuck under his feet, and he was able to get a nick off. And they've obviously given the corner there, but very difficult situation for him.
Odebeko and Fornals coming on for West Ham, but we're into the last 2 minutes. A ball in towards the near post. Not a great delivery, that must be said. It's headed away and collected over on the far side. It's picked up by Maynard. Maynard 2 yards, 3 yards back from the edge of the area, sends it wide out to the left. Bennett waiting in the centre for a delivery. Comes back to Kroistow. Kroistow doesn't flick it to the box. He just tries to keep things moving for Stockport, but they need to get it forward because we're 15 seconds away from the last minute of the match. Up towards Bennett. Good, strong header down and forward by Ash Palmer, who's almost got up as an auxiliary forward. It's bounced down on the edge of the area. Hinchy wants it. It's Southern who's taken it. Macaulay Southern plays it back into midfield. It's sent down the right. It's collected now by Thomas. Thomas sends it wide for Stockport. Into the area they go. Again, it's not a great delivery. It's too short, and Declan Rice comes over and clears away. 2 more changes for West Ham United just to waste a few minutes, and on comes Ademipo Odebeko for his debut in West Ham colours. He trots onto the pitch, the 18-year-old forward, and it's a big moment for him. Pablo Fornals is also going to come on for West Ham United, and this is their 5th change. Right at the end of the 90, leading by 1-0, but still Stockport come forward with Thomas into the area. Then there's a challenge inside the box, and they're claiming half-heartedly for a penalty, Stockport. Bennett's not going to get that. The ball's run out on this near side. It's a Stockport County throw. We're into injury time now. The 4th official yet to put up the board. I think there's only going to be 2 minutes of added time at the end of this game. They're still talking to Kevin Friend, who's putting the numbers into the ball. We've played more than 45 minutes. He should already have let us know how many there are. There's going to be 4 at the end of the game, maybe for Stockport to create a chance. West Ham United lead narrowly by 1-0, but they certainly haven't had it all their own way, and it's taken until the 83rd minute for them to score the opening goal.
They can't get the ball at the moment, West Ham. They can't get the ball, and they're marking very deep, which is encouraging Stockport to get the ball into areas that are making it uncomfortable for West Ham.
Well, they've thrown on their substitutes now. Ash Palmer moved from Guiseley, just back from suspension. He was the captain at Guiseley, moved in the summer. He's got an opportunity to try and influence proceedings at the top end of the pitch. He's been moved up there to try and put a bit of cut and thrust amongst the West Ham back line. Jack Hinchy, Thomas, all on the pitch now to try and involve themselves. Here is Thomas picking the ball up on the right side, trying to play it down the right. A cross goes in towards the near post, and it was a delivery by Hogan, who tried to just find the run of Bennett inside the area, but it was too close to Randolph, and it was gobbled up by the Irish goalkeeper, and he'll try to run the clock down.
One thing is for sure, Sam, this does not look like a non-league side, does it?
No.
It looks like a minimal League One, maybe even better than that. It's these players are more than capable. I'm surprised really they're not sitting top with a few points gap. Well,
they've got games in hand over Torquay, who are top of the National League at the moment, and I think they'll feel as if they'll be quite competitive towards the end of the season, depending on what happens over the next few months. Nothing is entirely predictable at the moment, is it? But I wonder how much criticism David Moyes and West Ham are going to get for making such hard work of this, or will the conditions come into play?
I think the conditions will, and look, this hasn't been a lacklustre display by any means by West Ham. It's about getting the job done. I think sometimes it's all about the result.
And Stockport needs a great deal of credit for their performance in the game. Kitchen out towards the left-hand side, driving forward over on the far side now, trying to come forward was Ryan Crowsdale. Didn't quite get the opportunity to get the cross, and it's blocked and goes out for a throw-in down by the corner flag for West Ham United. And they're going to take their time.
Declan Rice again, he covers every blade of whatever it is, every blade and every drop of water over the pitch. He's fantastic. He just gets into areas, makes it difficult for people to find the way to get at the back four, and clears up places. He clears up. He knows when to clear it now. He knows when to hold on to it. His decision making is faultless, I think.
Only Hartlepool have stopped Stockport scoring in the last 10 games. This is a bit of a dodgy ball back pass towards the goalkeeper, who's controlled it brilliantly on his chest and then lashed it upfield. That's a free kick given away by Rice, 10 yards short of the halfway line. And what they're going to do now? Well, the goalkeeper's going to come up, take it and toss it into the penalty area, and there's going to be a last minute scramble. They've only failed to score once in 10 matches, Stockport County. They usually get on the score sheet. If they get on the score sheet in the next minute, then they will take this tie to extra time. West Ham don't want that. It took them 83 minutes to get in front. They don't want to surrender that lead now. Hinchcliffe pumps the ball through the middle into the penalty area. Bonner heads it clear, but not entirely clear. It's picked up on the right. A cross goes in towards the near post. It's flicked in by Macaulay Southern House. Bennett goes towards the ball as it comes back in for the second time. And then the West Ham defenders all converge on Darren Randolph as he comes and snatches the ball. And surely now Stockport County's run in this competition is coming to an end. They've seen off Chesterfield, they've seen off Rochdale, they've seen off Yeovil after extra time, but it comes to a halt against the Premier League side, West Ham United. Well, I'm not entirely sure they'll be very happy hammers tonight, but they've got the job done, and West Ham go through eventually to the fourth round and a match with Doncaster, and possibly down the line a tie in the fifth round with Manchester United or Liverpool. But they made heavy weather of defeating National League Stockport County in treacherous conditions at Edgeley Park. Certainly Stockport played their part in a fabulous 90 minutes in which they dug in and made it a proper FA Cup tie, but West Ham eventually got over the line. They've beaten Stockport by 1-0.